Hey, we are back online, live streaming again, the Qualped Live Show. I'm Sean, and here we are, Friday evening, first Friday evening in December, right? Christmas month, end of 2021, starting of 2022. And today we want to continue from where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we talked about the kind of future that is coming after a very long-winded preamble into what the future is going to look like, say from next year. But as we prepare for 2022, and maybe this month some of us will be writing resolutions and preparing for next year and say, oh, what's in store for us and all that. So we want to prepare for the future. That's what we're about, right? The future. All about the future. That's what we're about. All about the future. You want to run with us? The only thing we're concerned about is the future, right? Where are we going in the future? And making that future what we want it to be, what we think we can, what we desire, what our passion is. So that's what we're going to continue today from where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we said at the end of the show, if you didn't see the show, like watch it, the video on YouTube or Facebook, or I think it's elsewhere like Tumblr and Twitch and all those places, but easiest place might be YouTube and Facebook. I don't know, I think we're streaming live on Instagram because all of it is set up right in the software. But I think the live on Instagram, if somebody sees it, please let me know. If not, I gotta check it out and see, because I think the live just goes on and it doesn't stay on Instagram. Live shows don't stay. Once it's over, it's done with, right? We're not on TikTok, maybe we should be, but I don't know if TikTok allows 1 hour videos. Maybe even Instagram TV I think would allow it. But anyway, the videos are there online. Plus it's going to be on our website soon. We're revamping the Future Stars Media Enterprise website. We're revamping 12 websites of the 12 different digital properties that our company offers, right? The main website is there, qualped.com, but the magazine, the newspaper, our headline site, our courses, our e-commerce, which is already up as well, but we're going to start putting some more exciting books on it. It has 150 or 170 actually e-books, which you can buy actually. Go check it out. Some business books and all that. But we're ramping up the sites. As you know, we have big goals for January 2023 to launch this media operation, as a full-fledged mass media enterprise, streaming live shows 24/7, right? Different shows, different talk shows, different shows on wealth and wellness and worthiness, of course, and wisdom, right? So we're going to have experts and masters having their own shows, and also, of course, performers. We could have singers, we could have dancers. So we're going to have different parts of the studio where different sets, right? Where people are going to perform and have talk shows and everything. It's the new media that we're setting out to, because old media is gone, traditional media is over. We will have our digital newspaper, People Today Chronicle, which you can check right now, peopletoday.qualped.com. But and we're going to start develop more stories into that as well. Although it has news running on it right now, but next year we have plans, right? And we're working towards it. And pray with us that everything goes well, and we bring in the kind of resources that we need and the skills. We need a good team of people to operate the cameras and the software and the graphics and all. It's a lot of work. But we're excited about the future, and we want to reach out to you if you're resonating with what we're saying, which is if you're a visionary and if you're hungry, if you really want a big life. No matter what you have now, you can have absolutely nothing. You could be nowhere in life. You could be depressed, whatever it is. If you come alongside us, I make a promise to you, our company will do everything in our power to see you achieve your potential, including in wealth and in wellness, and in a life of wisdom, constant enlightenment and insights, because that's the joy of life. When every day you learn something new, and you have an epiphany, and you have some new thought and some inspiring thought that you want to share with the world. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful life ever. That inner peace and calm that comes from knowing that today this magnificent thought came to my mind. That's the beauty of the human being. We could be creative in our imagination. Right? Animals can't do that. We can do that. I don't know if angels can do it, but we can do it. Humans, and that's the beauty of life. And we need to train people to do that more and more. And of course, so wellness, wealth, wisdom, and worthiness, values, social values. What values are we living for? what are we setting out to achieve in society. So come alongside us, and these things we will all work on together. So today's Friday, it's a light day. I'm not with jacket and all, I just wore my sweater. I hope it's okay. But it's Friday, the weekend is coming on. Of course, outside is cold and snowy here in Canada. And rainy as well, between snow and rain, freezing rain, all kinds of stuff. But it's good, it's nice, right? I hope you have a nice weekend and you enjoy a nice Friday night. Tonight, I wish you would stay with me if you're joining us, or if you're not joining us and you have no time, you can watch the video after. Or those who are coming on later, hopefully they benefit from what we're saying today. Today we want to go, let me just check and make sure the sound and everything is okay. Thank you, Mano, that is great. Everything is working well. We have this audit system that we check every day to make sure the sound and everything is okay, because before we had constant technical difficulties would show up, and it kept disrupting the show, but now it's okay, it's fine. Thank you, Mano, I appreciate it. Okay, I'll answer these messages later. Here's the thing with me on social media. I know people say don't pick up your phone and don't answer all the notifications that come in, right? To me that's rude. So what I do is, if there's a notification on the phone, my phone might be on silent and it would vibrate. I would leave it to vibrate at least. So it could be a faint vibration that there is a notification, or it could notify me with a sound if the sound is up, right? If the volume is up. But usually I have it low. But I would hear the notification, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, Discord, anywhere I get a notification from, a message or anything. You know what I do? Even if I can't answer it right away, I would look at it and I would acknowledge it. That's how I am. Even on Instagram, if somebody posts something on their wall, on their profile or account, I get a notification of it, whether it's a story or a post, I would acknowledge it, and most likely I would like it or something. A lot of people don't do that. They bypass things, and some of it I bypass that I don't find necessary to reply to. But I like to acknowledge people, it's nice to acknowledge people. I look at social media, I said this before on the show before, I look at social media as the kind of, you're walking on the street, right? If you're walking on the street and you see people, you see somebody, you would acknowledge them. Strangers pass each other, but usually if somebody says something to you, which is what a notification really means, that somebody is saying something, not necessarily to us, but to the world, and we're part of the world. If we're following them, we're in their feed and all that. Then a notification is they're saying something, I'm posting something, and here, the social media platform would say, here, this person who you're connected with by following or friends or whatever it is, has posted something, and it comes into your world. Acknowledge it, right? If you're walking down the street and somebody gives you a notification that says, hey, hello, or whatever it is, you would answer them. I see social media as us passing each other on the street, and if somebody put out something there and it's in your world, somehow it's notified to you, answer it. It's manners, it's ethics, it's consideration for other human beings. Let's not be rude, and just because it's social media, a lot of people just ghost social media, they look on all the posts and everything of your followers, and they would never communicate. Those are sad people, I can tell you, those are sad people. But anyway, I'm ranting again. These things are important to us. When we talk about social values, worthiness, remember one of our 4 W's is worthiness, which is our values, our ethics, how we treat other human beings. Not only how we treat people who are nice to us, but how we treat, like the big thing on social media, how do you treat the waiter, right? But how you treat everybody. If somebody put something online and you get a notification, how you treat that person, I would say, is an indication of the kind of character you have, right? And if I'm with somebody and they get a notification and they look at it, and of course if they're in a conversation, it's different, right? You kind of say, okay, after the conversation, I don't want to be rude to the person in front of me. But getting a notification on social media is the same as if somebody's in front of you and they're asking you something, or they're nudging you, they're saying, hey, I'm here, I'm doing something. Acknowledge it. Say excuse me to the person you're talking to. I just want to acknowledge this notification or this post or whatever it is. And it takes you 2 seconds to like or whatever it is. And or say, hey, I'll get back to you, whatever, Or don't even say anything, just like it or something, right? WhatsApp, the same thing. You just like it, you just give a thumbs up, whatever it is. And I'm not a big I don't chat a lot on social media or text a lot, and definitely phone call is not my thing. But I do acknowledge things, right? Like I really do, and I do communicate with text message and stuff if necessary, and DMs and all that. But anyway, it's part of human nature. These are the kinds of things we concern ourselves with. We would actually ask people who are with us to be kind and be compassionate and be considerate of everybody in your life, including your friends on Facebook who you might not even know, because Facebook redefined the word friend. It's not friend anymore. They call acquaintances friend. They call strangers friend. Somebody just connect with you on Facebook, boom, they're your friend. They're not your friend, but still they're in your world, right? And Instagram and TikTok and all that, acknowledge it, right? Even on TikTok, a lot of people who are looking for huge following, it's very ironic. They don't care about who follows them. Some of people I've noticed, I don't know if that is the general trend, but a lot of people who want millions of followers don't even acknowledge. Of course, you can't acknowledge millions of people if you have millions of people following you, but be courteous. Let's be courteous and considerate to other human beings. We're a family on earth, right? Humanity we're all we've got. I mean, yes, we believe there's God and angels and all those things, but on the earth here, battling with this world order and this oppressive world system, we're what we have. Let's be nice to each other, right? So anyway, let's get on with the show. I just want us to be a certain kind of people. Kindness, generosity, goodness, gentleness, love and peace and joy, that kind of thing must flow from us. That's the kind of worthiness that we practice, the kind of social value system that we practice, okay? And so, if you are that kind of a person, then moving into the future becomes easier, because you don't have to drag baggage with you. You don't have to walk around thinking and being resentful and upsetting people. Of course, you will upset people. I upset a lot of people unknowingly, unconsciously. I don't set out to upset people. I don't get upset, and I don't set out to upset people. But being who I am, I hold people to big standards, right? And I say, don't live a small life. Go big, right? Be a visionary, be a dreamer. And that upsets people, because they're scared of not playing small. They're scared of jumping on a limb like a monkey and swinging and thinking they would end up on a trampoline jumping to the top of their mountain. Bad example, but you get my point. People are scared in life, right? And so they encounter somebody who's visionary and big thinking and a dreamer. They say, oh, you're just a dreamer, you don't know reality. And they get upset with many things. I upset a lot of people, I know that, even online. But that's fine, right? I have no control over who gets upset. I can't do anything about that, and you can't do anything about that. But my point is, we should still remain kind, gentle, considerate, and always put people first. Nothing comes first. People say, oh, I don't have time to answer the notifications on the phone or my computer. Time is not more important than people. People are more important than time. People are more important than money. People are more important than anything. You do your part. If people get upset with you, that's their issue, not yours. You have nothing to do with that. If they have their judgments and their expectations and their upsets and their breakdowns, if we can help them, fine. But if we can't, what are we gonna do, right? We can't walk around thinking, I'm gonna make the whole world happy. It's impossible. You can't do that. But you try your best. That's the kind of people we have to be if we're gonna tackle the future. The future is a humongous. It's a very, very mammoth task to tackle the future. We can't just go into the future, which is a space that is murky, right? It's like walking into darkness, in a thick wall of darkness, because the future is not there yet. We create the future. We decide what future we want. We go out there and we say, I'm going to make tomorrow what I desire it to be. That's what we advocate on this show and in our qualified life and in our company and the way we live our lifestyle. So, having said all that, I didn't mean to say all that, but it came up because I was checking my phone. And if I get a notification now, trust me, I'm on the show talking to you, but I will do a quick check and a quick acknowledgement, whoever messages me, right? It's manners. It's showing respect to those people. It's showing those people that I acknowledge you and I appreciate you and I respect you and I thank you for reaching out to me and communicating and engaging. That's the world we should live in. Anyway, having said all that, what kind of future are we moving into? Let's continue from yesterday. So yesterday we talked about, I'm not going to go through everything that we did yesterday, again, not even a summary or a précis of it. I'm just going to go from the ending part, which is what kind of a future are we moving into? And it's a good way to end the week and to start next week, right? The kind of future that we're moving into is the age of technology. So we said yesterday we're coming, and we said umpteen times on this show, that we're coming out of the age of industrialization, the industrial age, and we're moving into the age of technology. And that's what we talked about yesterday. So I want to pick up on that again today and say we're moving into the age of technology, plus the age of knowledge, plus the age of individual empowerment. And those three, they work hand in hand. They're interwoven. They come together. And so it's necessary for us to consider the ramifications of the whole thing. Technology, the age of technology. Knowledge in the age of knowledge. Empowerment in the age of individual empowerment. No longer is the government overpower us, although they're doing that with coronavirus. Not even governments are doing that, they're global organizations. But we as individuals can choose to develop our individual lives so that our lifestyle is not subjected. Despite whatever society might say, they might have laws and rules and all those things, but we can still build an individual life that is empowered, that we can still do our thing, not fight the system. I'm not saying we should be fighting the system. We shouldn't, because you can't fight the system. Fighting the system is a losing battle. Everybody who tried to fight the system, from Jesus Christ to Martin Luther King to Malcolm X or Mandela, who spent 28 years in jail, whoever, anybody who tried to fight the system instead of engaging the system, the fighters of the system failed and they were killed. They were assassinated. They were executed. They were gotten rid of. That's how the brutal world system is. But people who engage the system abroad, like Biden is doing, President Biden in the US, like Trudeau is doing in Canada, like Obama did. And I know I'm mentioning all liberals here, and people might get upset with that, but some conservatives did too. You name them and I'll agree with you. Right? I'm a conservative. I'm a carrying member of a conservative party in Canada. But, you know, I like progressive values. I like humane values, and that's what we're all about. But the people that I mentioned, they are people who are involved in social causes, right? And that's what I mean by these people who are progressives. Conservatives might be more business people and economic people and all that who are after profits, which is, you know, their thing, right? And it's my thing too, but it's not something that we go out on the street and stand on the rooftop and holler about. We talk about and promote social values that impact human lives, right? Which are more and more liberal people. For whatever reason, that's not right or wrong. I'm not making a judgment call one way or the other. I'm just stating a fact, stating my opinion actually. Anyway, what kind of future are we moving into? We're moving into a future where we engage the system of the world, as oppressive and as crazy and as stupid and as inhumane as we think it is. We still engage with the system, because that's how we're going to bring about transformation and change. And as individuals who are empowered, we're moving into the age of empowerment, because it's also the age of technology. Technology gives us power. Because it's the age of knowledge, knowledge more than technology, even more than anything, it empowers us enormously. You live a lifestyle of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the difference in your life would be tremendous, over a period of time. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight, right? Things take time. You gotta work it, and like building muscles, like going to the gym every day and working out. After a while, you realize you're developing muscles. I need to do that, right? Yeah, I need to do that. But okay, no joking. Let's get down to serious business. Today we want to talk about how do we use the power that we have now that we know we are empowered, and even becoming more empowered. The process is not done yet. It's still a work in progress. But it's happening. It's unfolding more and more, like a flower opening up. More and more our empowerment is increasing. And I don't want to get it. Let me tell you something. The empowerment of the individual on the face of the earth would increase to such an extent, would widen and be so enormously powerful, that at one point, even the surveillance society would not be able to stop the individual power, and they would have to implement a different system. a system that I have been studying and writing in my novels, and it's called, what I call it is the panopticon singularity. I know it's a long, complex word. Read my novel and you're going to get it. I'm not going to get into that now. But they would have to bring in that system to curb, not now, maybe 20 years, 25 years from now, to curb the power of the individual. Because that's how powerful we're becoming. If we know technology and if we live a lifestyle of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Now, before COVID actually, as recently as 2019 and going back, people were living for entertainment. The sports game was more important. You'd find everybody talking about basketball and baseball and soccer and all the Olympics and all the sports out there, and the people would be so caught in sports and mass sports, right? Everybody would be flocking to stadiums and TV, and after the big games and World Series and all those things, and World Cup soccer and Olympics and everything, and then they had entertainment. Everybody was going to concerts, and musicians were traveling the world and touring everywhere, and people would flock to these concerts. And of course, movies. People would flock to movies because everybody was about entertainment. We wanted to be entertained because we lived a life of existentialism. We were thinking, now is it important? The moment now is what is important, which is basically, to put it very, very simple, what existentialism is all about. This philosophy of existentialism became a big part of the industrial age, where everybody lived. You work during the week to pay your bills, and then the moment you have some, like Friday night, everybody would be in a club or in a movie theater or watching TV tonight, Friday night, right? And we had the phrase TGIF, thank God it's Friday, because it became so popular, because people were looking forward to their weekend, and the weekend was freedom. The week wasn't freedom, the weekend was freedom. And so they go party and entertain themselves enormously. And then COVID came, of course, and shut it all down. Everything shut down, even though it's not recovering yet. It's slowly recovering, but this new strain of Omicron virus variant might very well shut it down again. And so entertainment, existentialism, existing for the moment and enjoying the moment and experience, the experience of things. How do I experience myself now? And people even did dangerous stuff like skydiving and ziplining from one mountain to the next and that kind of thing. They went on exotic adventures, backpacking through dangerous territories and climbing Mount Everest and all that. I mean, not the average person, but generally everybody lived for entertainment. Existentialism became the mantra of the age, of the entire industrial age. Now that is changing. So when we talk about the future tomorrow, we got to prepare for these things. It's about, and I'm not talking about a boring future where there's no entertainment. Of course, entertainment is a big part of being human, right? We would still have our sports, we would still have our comedy and our entertainment and all those things, but it would not be such a big deal. What is going to be a big deal for the movers and shakers in the future is knowledge, but knowledge that is exciting. And people have the impression somehow that knowledge is boring, that reading Shakespeare is the most boring thing ever, or reading books like these heavy books that are classic literature, books like Hemingway and Tolstoy and Dostoevsky and Proust and James Joyce and all those big books, Dickens and all that. People don't read them anymore, and they don't read them because, like The Old Man and the Sea, for example, people don't read them anymore. They don't read them because they believe literature is boring, but it's not. You sink your teeth in a good story. Even a book that is not literature, like Nicholas Spark and those modern writers, Ken Follett and all those guys, Stephen King, whoever. Even those books, you read them, there is pleasure in them. There is entertainment in them. But of course you gotta get into it, right? You gotta delve into it. It doesn't come to you just like that, right? You gotta love. Once you get into the story, even Harry Potter and all that, which is not really literature, they're more like pop culture books, right? But once you get into sink your teeth into it, it's really entertaining. So knowledge could be entertaining. It's beautiful to see the mind soar. There's a joy to it that watching a football game could never replace, right? Or watching a movie or entertaining yourself, even with comedy. A comedy show or something. It could never replace reading classic literature. I know from first-hand experience. It's a beautiful experience. reading and getting into the story. So we are moving into a future of that kind of lifestyle for the people who would step out into the future. Now a lot of people might be left back, and I'm hoping that would not happen. I'm hoping that's why our company is so engaged in developing the future of the book as an exciting, smart, simple multimedia experience. The book is no longer something you read, but you engage with and you experience according to how we are developing it. And I think a lot of companies will be doing that. So you'll have a lot of companies rolling out in the knowledge age to make knowledge exciting and fun, including textbooks for universities and schools and stuff. The knowledge age is a big thing that we're moving into. So the internet is causing that, right? And of course the internet moved from the information society. So we had, when the internet started up, it was all information. We were throwing information out there, unfiltered, uncensored. It happened as recently as the last elections in the United States, where information was being thrown out without censorship. People were saying what is fake news and what is truth. Nobody knew, because it was all information. None of it was refined into knowledge, into actual knowledge. But now because of coronavirus, well, not because of coronavirus, through coronavirus, we're seeing a new society emerge where, they stop talking about fake news and all those things, right? Because what we're doing now is we're refining information, and information refined and made useful is what knowledge is. And when you apply that useful information, which is knowledge, then the application of it is real wisdom, right? So you have information, refined information, and applied refined information. So information is there. When you refine the information and research it and package it properly and you make it useful, it becomes knowledge. And when you apply that knowledge, it's wisdom. That's what I believe, right? Anyway, it's arguable, and I'm willing to listen to whoever can enlighten me more on that. But wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So the web went through the information age, and then it went through the period of knowledge, of sorting itself out and saying, fake news, we gotta kind of build a structure that reads out fake news. Only useful knowledge should be there on the web. Not on the web, but impacting people, right? Everything is on the web, but what is really impacting people now, starting to, is useful knowledge, like courses and books and all those things. And then, of course, we're moving into the future where that useful information or knowledge would be applied. And we want that for our lives. So what this show is about, what I'm talking about today, is knowing what future is coming. Once we know what future is coming, then we can prepare ourselves to benefit from that future, to ride the wave of that future. And if we know it's going to be a future of knowledge, not wisdom yet. Wisdom might be 10 years away. For the world to really be a wisdom society, I don't know if we will ever get there. But for now, we're going to have a knowledge society. And we want to be the ones who are on the cusp of that knowledge. This is why I'm writing a series of novels, right? The first one is published, Nightmares of Knowledge. The second volume is coming. It's a 10-volume novel. And the name of it is The Nightmares of Knowledge, right? Of course, I don't want to get into it. Read the book. If you want a copy, ask me for it. Because knowledge has a dark side too, right? And that's what my novel is about. But forget that right now. What we're talking about is the age of knowledge. So we want to be able to ride the wave of that age of knowledge. To be able to do that, we have to embrace the age of technology. The age of technology is what is going on right now, and it's in a phase of tremendous change and transformation, with the metaverse coming out, with cryptocurrency coming out, with NFT coming out. The NFT is so profound and powerful, because what NFT is the monetization of your intellectual property. That's what NFT is. As mysterious as it looks online for a lot of people, what it is the new monetization of intellectual property. So authors, painters, dancers, musicians, creatives on the whole, if you have intellectual property, which everybody has now, and we talked about this in a show before, where corporations and countries, that's what they protect with espionage agents, with spy agencies and all that. Big corporations hire them, governments everywhere have secret services, And the main thing they do today is protect, or some countries, I won't name names, steal intellectual property. They want to go copy what other people have, right? And a lot of every big company, from Samsung, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, they all at one point faced court action, being sued, or they suing somebody over intellectual property. Intellectual property is a legally binding, protected thing. And your intellectual property, which is your message, your story, and we talked about that in shows before, we are setting out with our Sims book to package it and to give you that power that you could play in the technology world, on the internet, globally, in a mediated global village. You know, the whole world now is media. Everywhere it's media. Even with the metaverse, it's going to be media. And media is coming to be not just an extension of us, but a part of us. So now the internet is talking about wearable technology. Wearable technology. This is not wearable. The phone or the computers, even the cameras and stuff. You have the go, what is it called? The Go camera, I think it's called, where people put the camera on and they go skydiving and they go diving, scuba diving and all that, and they have their camera and they do photography. And that's a wearable technology. But the real wearable technology that is coming is for the metaverse with AR and VR glasses, right? And we're going to have these glasses on and we're going to be able to do so much more. What Zuckerberg is calling the immersive experience. We're going to immerse ourselves into this global internet with a wearable technology instead of a screen that is external to us. So this technology thing is happening so fast, and it's coming closer to us. It's actually invading our space and our world. Of course, we welcome it because we're going to take those glasses and pay, $500 for them and put them on, and to be able to be immersive in the internet. And when we do that, we must prepare. This is why we want you to come with us, because we are doing the work and we can show you how to do all the shortcuts as we alter our future, as we design the life that we want, that we desire, into this new future that is coming. The future of the age of technology, the future of the age of knowledge, the future of the age of your empowerment through developing your intellectual property. And when you develop your intellectual property, like for example, I have 10 books coming out, and I'm going to say this, I shouldn't maybe, but I will. The covers of each one of my books we are making into an NFT. Each cover would be an NFT that is tradable. That is the kind of power that we now have in our hands, that you now have in your hands. That your intellectual property can be traded not only in the old-fashioned way, old technology, but also with cryptocurrency. You know, now Facebook has announced, today they announced, that they are accepting cryptocurrencies for running ads on their site. And many companies are doing that now. Countries are doing it. Accepting cryptocurrencies as a payment for goods and services. And so the world is changing. And we can't sit there and, go, Friday night I'm going to go look for a club that would accept me even if I have no vaccine. Or I'm going to go watch TV and entertain myself and breeze by the weekend. Now the older people are doing that. People in their maybe 60s, 70s, 80s, that's what they do because that's what they know. But the younger people are living a different life. The 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds, maybe 30 might be too old, but even the younger people, the teenagers especially, are into the immersive world. They're playing Fortnite and Minecraft, and they're immersed. The young people, especially teenagers, but even people in their 20s, they're already immersed in the internet through video games, right? Roblox, Fortnite, all these things, Minecraft, a number of games are out there, and millions and millions of people, as I'm speaking right now, are immersed in those things, including my son Prince, who's 14, with his headset on and his microphone and his fancy software and everything, an expensive computer with, he knows about the graphics card and everything, because he had to research those things. Every young person today is like that, right? And so they're already immersed in the internet. And a lot of us who are older, we're saying, you know what? I don't even, whatever happens in the future, whatever comes after COVID, I'm going to just go back to normal when society goes back to normal. It's the dumbest thing and the stupidest thing you could hear from somebody that would say society is going to go back to how it was and everything is going to be back to normal and COVID would have no long-term effect on society, right? And even now, after the last shutdown with Delta, to now when society opened back up and economies are recovering, a lot of people are saying, okay, COVID is over. And then boom, Omicron variant hits. And it's going to again shut down society. Hopefully not, but I think it will. So what we are talking to you about is we want to awaken that awareness in you. We want to awaken the consciousness. The consciousness is totally awakened to the fact that we're moving into a future that is different from any future that we moved into before. As 2022 comes around, it's going to be a different world. And if we don't prepare for it, if we don't be aware and mentally, psychologically, emotionally gear ourselves for that new future, first of all, knowing what the new future is going to look like, and then preparing ourselves mentally and psychologically, especially, but also emotionally and financially in every way for that new future. And the future is very simple. The future is very exciting because it empowers you, it empowers me through our intellectual property. If we engage with things like NFT, even land now they're selling within the metaverse and they're using NFT to do it. It's astonishing. I don't know if you know what this world is going on out there, but it's amazing. They've done over, I think it's $4 or $5 billion or $9 billion, something like that, of buying and trading land in the metaverse. This is virtual land. This is real money, about $9 billion or something like that, or $4 billion, whatever it is. So far, virtual land has been traded on the metaverse platforms that are out there. Google it, check it out. It's all over Instagram and everywhere, YouTube, Facebook and everywhere. And a lot, whilst that is going on, again you have the divided society, right? You're gonna have the 1% that is immersed in that world and building out that world and making it happen and benefiting from it. So a lot of people come out rich, and we say, oh, that is the 1%. But hi Chris, I am alive soon. Sorry guys. So we have to prepare for that kind of future that is emerging very, very fast. And we can't sit back and do nothing and expect life to return to normal. It won't happen. It just won't happen. We have to learn about technology. We have to learn about the empowerment of the individual, and we have to learn about the age that is coming, which is the age of knowledge. We got to learn about it to take advantage, not take advantage, that's the wrong word, but to grasp the opportunities that are there. Okay? So, we want you to be prepared. We want to be prepared for the simple reason that we are in a momentous time in this hour of humanity. We're in a very momentous time. This is not the year 2000 or 1999 moving into 2000. This is not 2010 moving into 2011. This is an age ending and an age starting. The age of the industrial age is ending, and the age of knowledge, the age of technology, the age of individual empowerment, real empowerment is starting up. And the world is recognizing that. The global organizations, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the COP26, they all recognize it. And they're doing foundational, structural and systematic dismantling and changing and disruptions below the system, below the surface, in the foundation of the system, the world system. They're dismantling things and changing things around and disrupting stuff, and they're doing structural readjustments with the Sustainable Development Goals, with the Clean Climate Mandate, with the Great Reset. Whether we agree with those things or not, those things are happening. We can't deny them. And if the global people are doing it, the leaders, the elites, the rich people are making all those changes. Zuckerberg decided he saw the future coming. This guy is not some ordinary human being. He has to know what he's doing to become such a multi-billionaire at such a young age and build a global platform, not for a niche audience, but for every human being to be on that platform. Billions of people. And he has to know something. And he decided that now, this year, he's going to change his company completely from what it was before to prepare for that new future that is coming. How much more you and I? How much more us? We have to do that kind of work. And so that's what I want to awaken in you. I want to bring to consciousness to all who would listen to me. And I know our audience might not be big, but one day this video, a lot of people are going to watch it. And we want you to recognize that as this age comes to an end and the new age is starting up, we must bridge that gap. We must be able to cross that bridge, or we'll be left back. And to be left back into the old thinking, into industrial age thinking, when the knowledge age and the technology age is upon us, as we saw with people there are still people I know, some old people, not even old, they're old people who embrace technology and use smartphone. I have a friend who's 97 years old, Oswald Allen, and he started using a cell phone at 96, and he embraced it, and now he does WhatsApp, he will call me and everything. But there are people in their 60s and 70s who can't use a cell phone properly, or a computer. They never embrace technology. They still live in the old world. And a lot of people are expecting that the new world, when COVID is over and society opens up again, if society opens up, they'll be able to go to a job 5 days a week, commute again, drive gasoline cars, buy gas at the gas station, go to the bank and do their transaction, completely ignoring the world of NFT and crypto and metaverse and internet. People think that they would be able to do that. No, you won't. But for our crowd, we must prepare for what is coming. Alright? We must prepare. And so I would encourage you to research as much as possible. You have a computer, you have a smartphone. Spend 15-20 minutes a day, go on that phone and do some research. Research cryptocurrency, research NFT, research the knowledge age, research the technology age, and see what is coming. Read magazines like Fortune magazine, like Wired, like The Atlantic. All that stuff is available online for free. Delve into the knowledge and become aware, become conscious of the new world that we're moving into. That's how you're going to conquer that new world. That's how you would not get back or get left back. And you could prepare your generation for a life that is, not left back from in the technology age or the knowledge age, because some people will be left back. Excuse me, like human nature being what it is. I need water again. In every age, you have a segment of society. Unfortunately, in all the ages past, including the industrial age, which is now coming to an end, a lot of people were left back. And unfortunately, the ones who were left back are the majority. The ones who were poor and all that, right? We're going to have a generation that is not digitally equipped, digitally literate, that is able to embrace the digital age and the digital society. And it's sad that those people would have to suffer from it. But we can't know what's coming and sit and don't say anything, or don't do anything, or don't urge the people in our life to also embrace the digital age. Come with us, let us all benefit, because you know what? It's never been easier for the individual person, for you and me, you and I, to walk into a new age and say this is our time. When the industrial age started, only a few elites could benefit from it, like Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie and other people who are industrialists. When the feudal age happened, only the monarchies and the royalties could benefit, and those in power and parliament and stuff. Today, the average individual could become a millionaire overnight, which is happening. There are people making tons of money on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, and now with NFT and crypto. Every day, somebody's becoming a millionaire, every single day. But again, they're rising to become a certain class, and the rest of society is sinking to become a class of, we don't know what's going on, we're confused, we don't know about the future, and wouldn't do the research, right? So we got to prepare, and we got to work together. I'm going to get an early show today. We went to go the full hour, maybe 45 minutes. But I just want to come on today, being Friday, right, to kind of follow up on yesterday's show to say that the new world is opening up, and what we're doing here is, and we would like you to come on board with us and engage with us, and we engage with you, to not only prepare for the new world, but to take hold of all the opportunities that are opening up for us, right? Let's take the enormous amount of opportunities are there now, tons of opportunities, I'm telling you. And using your intellectual property, using your story, using your message to the world, using who you are, well, not necessarily who you are, but who you want to be, who you're creating yourself to be, who you're inventing yourself to be, okay? So, enjoy the weekend, and remember what we talk about. The future is rushing towards us. The only thing that is important is the future. Learn about the future, read about the future, research about the future, and the future is all about technology, the age of technology, the age of knowledge, and the age of individual empowerment. Research those three things, look into them, learn about them, let them become embedded in your mindset and your worldview and your way of thinking, right? That is an important thing. And I want to leave that with you today. I want to leave that with you, that this weekend, even as you go have a light, relaxing, resting weekend, at the same time, you have the internet at your fingertips, right? Go online and look into the knowledge age, look into the technology age, look into the how am I empowered as an individual, look into NFT and crypto, and spend a few minutes for the next, tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, at least for the weekend, but let it be a lifestyle too, right? And research these things. Look into the future. The future is important, and I want to urge you to take it seriously as much as we do. All right? So thank you for being with me tonight. Have a good weekend, and those of you who engage with me throughout the week, thank you very much. And we shall see you again on Monday. All right? So take care, and remember, it's about authoring the future that we want and designing the life that we desire. Living our full potential, going up the mountain to our summit, to the top of our human potential. Okay? So take care and enjoy a good weekend, despite the cold in Canada, or if you're in a tropical country, the heat. Alright? Take care. Bye-bye.